Hey friends, I don't want to bring it to you, but the exam season is literally around the corner. I've been studying for my whole life, school, university, 2 years of college. I have a lot of experience. And over the past years, I've developed some habits that help me reduce the stress before any exam or test. So if you're feeling anxious about your upcoming exams or tests or assignments, let's relax together. The first tip is very basic, but it works like magic. Sleep is very important for you. And it's not like, oh, I'm gonna sleep for 8 hours before my exam. No, it should be days or even weeks. When I was in college and university, I was like, who cares? I'm gonna go to bed at like 3 and then wake up at 8 or like 7 even. And then I would live like that for months. And I was like, well, I'm not feeling well. Now I make sure to sleep 8 hours every single day. It doesn't matter if I go out, if I work, if I'm like studying, whatever, 8 hours is the bare minimum. And if you invite me to go to a club, to party, I'll be like, Sleep is very important. So prioritize your sleep. Please don't forget that a test is a test and nothing more. The test and exams are made to evaluate your skills and not evaluate you as a person. If you fail a test, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. That only means that you might have studied a bit more. Normally, there shouldn't be any surprises because literally the teachers will give you the whole breakdown before the exam, before the test. If we're talking about language exams, it is very important to learn the structure because you will not get a breakdown, obviously. But once you know the structure of the exam, once you've done multiple mock tests, you'll be ready to take that exam. That would be much easier. And don't forget that exams do not define you as a human, nor they don't define your whole life. If you fail an exam or test, well, who cares? I mean, you can always retake a test. That's not a big deal. The next tip is for people like myself, and it's leave your perfectionism at home. I used to be that person. It's either perfect or nothing. First of all, why? You're putting so much pressure on yourself. Second of all, if you get 10 out of 10, well, good for you. Will that change your life? Most likely not. So don't overthink the questions. Don't overthink the answers. Just try to be calm and follow the patterns that you've learned and practice at home. And speaking of practice, please practice a lot. If we're talking about language tests, you should be practicing until you get your desired score. I get so many messages. Yulia, I get this in my practice test, but I need this. Am I ready? Once you get your desired score in your practice test, that means you're ready. If you're getting 95 to 100, but you need 120, well, clearly you're not ready. So practice, practice, practice. What helped me a lot when I was in college and university actually, making a cheat sheet and revising it before the exam. I would make, summaries of the lectures or like classes I had, and I would go through them before the exam. If you're forgetting certain phrases or certain things, just write them down. For example, when I was taking my French exam, oh, by the way, hold on a second. When I was taking my French exam, I literally got this and I put all the phrases like here, because some words like hebdomadaire, like I will never be able to learn that. So I put everything that I keep forgetting here. So before the exam, I would come, read through the words and be like, oh, hebdomadaire. But please don't focus on learning the vocabulary the very last minute. This way, there's gonna be like, kind of like a soup in your head because you're gonna be like, oh, but I kind of like learned that, but I don't remember, but does it mean this or that? Don't, please don't. You might just misuse these words and lose some points. So if you wanna add some new vocabulary before the exam, you need to start, a month before the exam, not like 1 day before the exam. And another thing that helped me a lot is surrounding yourself with the language or the subject of your future test or the exam. If it's a language test, I would watch French Netflix all day long. I would listen to podcasts, whatever. If I have, let's say, a food and beverage class, I'll be going through all my class notes, I'll be going through all the calculations, and I'll be literally surrounding myself with the topic of the tomorrow's test. And if you're really feeling anxious, try meditations. Honestly, I was not a fan of those. I was like, what kind of stuff is that? But if you try different apps, if you try online meditations, I think they even have meditations on Netflix now. How about that? Try that. It might help calming your mind, being like, hey, everything's gonna be fine. My life does not depend on this test or exam. Unless it's IELTS and you need it for your immigration, but it's a whole different story. So try meditating, breathe, drink water, and just know that everything's gonna be fine. I mean, I had C's in some classes. Well, did I fail as a human being? I do not think so. I mean, if you studied in Canada and you have the student loan, that makes sense to you to get all the A's so you can get some kind of a discount. But if you are an international student, I mean, if you get a B, B minus, that will not change anything, trust me. Like, look at this woman. I think she's a pretty successful one. So grades do not define you. If you fail, you can always retake the test, retake the exams, and everything will be fine. Your mental health is more important than grades, so please keep that in mind too. And this is it for today. I hope the video was helpful. If you have exams and tests really soon, I wish you all the best. Good luck. I hope it all goes well. Please come back and let me know what you got for your test, if my tips actually helped you, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!